In fact, the UK police had to come out. They made a video, more like a press conference, advising Nigerian women to actually stop reporting their husbands to the police. And eventually, when you report them, they deport them down to Nigeria. And except for one of them that shared the story said, okay, that's the comment section that said, okay, when my wife reported me that time, and they had to deport me. But before he was deported, he also went to the embassy. He went to her office and reported her that, stating that most of her document, her work stay and everything was fake. And from that, while they were deporting him, not too long, they deported her and the children. So the question is, why is that we Nigerian women, we want our men to flourish, do well, take us out of the country, but once we get there, we abuse it and, tend to want to do something that will definitely make the husband to be deported. Why do you think that? Or do you think it's actually the fault of the men that actually misbehave when they get there?
You see, it's a big question, and I really want men, especially young men listening out there, to understand this. And see, there are 3 stages in family life. How you handle the first stage as a man and the definition of why your wife respects you will determine what happens in the second and the third stages of your life. Now, in the first stage, most times men who are too available, who pamper their wives, make such women good enough, I'm in that category too, make women see, sometimes you indulge them and make them see you as really weak. And women always like to test men. And most times when men react, they overreact. And when you now overreact, he holds those things against you. And most time in the second stage of your life, the woman is closer to the children, and every of those things you are doing, she interprets it to the children, and you end up having kids that hate you for reasons you don't know
about.
And at that second stage of your life, you are probably too busy with work, and you are not even available anymore. At that first stage, you are available because it's the first few years of your life. So now, men who do that, and then at the second stage of their life, probably now travel abroad. That is the stage most women want vengeance. And that's why I said what you do in the first stage goes a long way to affect what happens to you in your second stage or the third stage. Third stage being that when the women now, the children are now working, and the children probably favors the mother than the father, or the children actually want their mother with them to take care of their own grandkids and the like. Now let's get back to things that happen in the second kind of family. The man is too strict, and his definition of why the woman obeys or is humble is because he is the provider. And at every little thing, he either shouts at her or withholds his financial provision. She will be calm. But when she now gets the opportunity in the second stage to get back at you, which is your means of livelihood, and most times the man at that first stage labor to take them abroad, and she now has any standard. There are things that you did at that first stage that you lash at her. She just withholds, because at that time everybody is saying your home is too young. You have to, they are forcing a kind of identity on her. But you see, and most women do that probably from 33 to 40. That's the age of the second stage for most women. They get more emboldened. They already made up their mind. Exactly, they already made up their mind if it was a mistake to be married to you or it was the right choice. They had other suitors. They see what's happening to those guys' homes. They compare with what they are going through, and a lot of things is going on. That is when men are supposed to be very calm. But men don't want to transit from that first stage. They want to maintain that firm grip. They want to maintain that dominance that they have. At that second stage, our opinion is very, very important, but men don't see it from that point of view. I've made mistakes like that too. But some of us, because probably we have the opportunity to be mentored by families that are up there, that have transcended all of these stages, it's easier for some of us to minimize our mistakes. Not like we won't
still make
mistakes,
or minimize it.
But minimize it, yes. So at the early stage when your kids were still 5, age 3, age 4, it's easier for you to just, I want my food now. Why isn't the food ready? But the truth, at that stage, one of your kids can actually make food, and your wife can insist that but because you were so dominant and she always did that, that minor thing can, if you are abroad, you can be very surprised that they can kick you out.
Yes.
Just because of that minor.
Yes.
If you see reasons why they were reporting their husbands,
you will find out that it's something that is not
something that they would have just looked away in the first stage. So that's why let me know by saying this, that men, we need to lead our family, not be the ATM. Most men, when your definition of leadership in the home is attached to finance, when you have job insecurity, when she begins to earn more than you do, when she has people that are willing to support her, you feel threatened, and because you are threatened, you begin to misbehave, and you will eventually you will be creating the wrong picture to your children. Because it's your actions your children will be seeing. And women are good at manipulating those your actions to the kids to favor them. So men must see. I've learned that men must define at the beginning of your homes what the leadership is. Take for instance, let me use my family as a very good instance. I understand where my wife is coming from. Now see, women who grew up in homes where their mothers were breadwinners, they don't take chances with men when something happens to your finances. Because the first thing that comes to their mind is this going to be forever? So even when you know that you are buoyant, always when I understood that was the mindset of my wife because of the family, what I used to do is I'll make sure that even when I'm buoyant, I say, babe, please sort so and so for me. Next week I will refund, and I make sure I always refund.
Please make sure you refund.
So I always, so now that grip of no, I don't want to share my funds. She began to grow out of it. I can't command her out of it. I can't force her out of it because the mindset, she grew up with that mentality. But you have to act it out. So gradually, I started increasing what she was doing, and I was always refunding. Then there were times that because I knew that we were growing and she was beginning to manage certain things, I began to say, so. Then when I default, I intentionally tell her I'm going to default to so day, but please give me an additional week, and I'm going to ask so for you. So she had reasons to love me, not because she's married to me, but she knows that I can keep my words.
And you need to keep your words.
So it's beyond me being able to provide financially. I'm doing all of that because I know that as a man, something can happen, and I may not be able to. So, but what I have done in the past will help her to know that no, as soon as he will always tell me the deadline when this thing will happen, and he will refund. So most men don't see it. They only fall into trouble before they start running to their wives, and women very, very defensive. Now, a lady that comes from a family where the father provides everything will not see reasons why she should do anything. But men don't look at the antecedents. You just call her selfish. They don't look at the background. They don't look at the background. So all of a sudden you are abroad, and because the things are not going well financially, you want her to participate, and you don't understand the reasons why she's lashing out at you. Her background plays a lot of role. So she has been a daddy's girl all the while. She does not see reasons why. In fact, despite the fact that she was earning, probably before she married, dad was still always sending money to her account. Dad was still always doing something. So you must understand these two backgrounds before you can now make up your mind on who you are going to see. I'm not who I am to my wife should not be the same thing someone else will. You have to look at the background, look at her ideology from how she has grown up, then ask her what she exactly wants. Then another thing we do is monthly we do a review. See, no man likes when a woman is rude to her, but you see, there must be that one opportunity every month. Sometimes I'm praying to God I can make it every week, but I'm not always around. But you must be able to sit down and let them talk to you. It will now, the more you do it, when there is turbulence, because you have created that opportunity for you guys to always talk about things, they will talk to you respectfully.
But if they don't have the time to express
any opportunity, emotions will just come in and they lash out at you. So I've created that opportunity that they know that no matter anywhere I travel, that once a month we must. So sometimes we've had family meetings like that once a month, and my son was telling me that Dad, he has grown up to a stage where he also deserves two pieces of meat on his food. They come up with something, but the truth is that you must let them speak up. You're also helping their self-esteem.
Yes.
So when my children sits there and my wife talks about you're coming back too late and then you're doing that, she expresses herself, and they see how she expresses herself and how I'm able to respond irrespective of whatever. The first thing I do is always to apologize. I'm sorry about this, I'm sorry. There was a time we wanted to achieve something in the family, and I was the one that was making the biggest sacrifice, but they won't see it. I had to make everybody make sacrifice. So we increased our fasting from once a week to thrice. Now my children were feeling the heat. My children were like, when we do the family meeting this month, we have to talk to daddy about this. This is no longer comfortable. My wife was also, everybody was involved. Then when we had the meeting, they told me we can't continue like this. We know you fast every morning. We know you do this, but I now have to explain my own sacrifice. This is what I earn. I didn't cut down on what you guys earn. The only thing that is affected now is breakfast, and this is what I'm doing with that money. Then everybody kept quiet. I said, okay, no problem. Let's substitute this for subscription. If you want to continue having your breakfast and we should turn our fasting to once a month, then I'm not doing subscription on the TV for so number of time.
Okay.
And they tried it for the first month, and later they started again and preferred the breakfast. So I don't really understand. You see, if you don't let them open up to talk to you and let them be part of this, when they grow up and they have the opportunity to lash at you, you will regret it.
Of course, yes. You will definitely.
You will regret
as a woman, I know. So I'm going to say that the day we will have the opportunity to express ourselves, it will be too much for most men.
Because it's an explosion. Yes. It has gathered momentum for too long.
Exactly. It's more of an explosion, because at that point, if you allow us sometimes to express ourselves, we tend to want to, at a point we even get tired of being explosive. We just want to talk, and that is where the respect comes in. But if we are always kettling it, always padding it inside, one day they say the cooler said will not be able to contain whatever it is. Anyway, that's a fabulous one. Like I told you, he's a writer, he's an author, so he has so much ideas. He's a public speaker, so you can see, don't be surprised, from ordinary travel and deportation, see how far he went. That's amazing. Okay, just to go on a softer note, Uniport students pleasantly surprised as the lecturers showed off their dancing move just on a soft note, and this is because a lot of them got new cars. Before, most students always used to laugh off at their professors, see a student's car and see a professor's car now. But this time around in Uniport, the professors got brand new cars, and of course in celebration they had some very amazing dance move. But one comment from one of the viewers on the post said, "I'm sure that most of these lecturers, the dance move in their head is different from what we are actually seeing." But let's watch this video just for a second note, and we'll be right back to discuss more. I'm so sorry, you're supposed to watch the whole video, but it's a long one, and I'm sure I'm already laughing right here, because like I said, the dance is playing differently in their head, but their legs, their body, because of age, definitely cannot make them. You can see there was a senior Ashake there when he pulled his jacket out of joy. I could see him trying to do the moonwalk, but no, it's not coming. Age has already, told him to just relax a little bit. Anyway, that's just on a softer note to show how it's very exciting when people, add something to their offender to their cap. That's a good one. Anyway, let's talk about something serious now. Now, a mom has actually warned other moms to check on their kids as she shows how maid left her children before sleeping, and of course, while sleeping off, she met them in a very uncomfortable situation. And of course, she shared this video where she was checking up on her kids, and only to find them sleeping in a position she does not like, while her maid, named Favor, who was supposed to put them to sleep, slept off on her knees without even completing the job. The mother and another female are heard scolding Favor for letting the children sleep in that position, and also scolded Favor for not covering the children's body to protect them from catching cold. And of course, we know Nigerians. This video sparked a whole lot of mixed reaction. So let's quickly watch the video and of course hear what the woman said during the video, and of course we'll see if it is right or wrong from our own end. We'll be right back. Now, a lot of people from the comment section quite disagreed with the mom, asking that, you know, the way you also get tired and just jump in bed, probably without even taking your shower. It could be one of those days for the maid. But a lot of people were still commenting her that, you know, some women would have probably pounced on Favor, which is the name of the housemaid, would have pounced on her and start like maybe beating her or raising her voice. But and some were like, maybe she did not shout because she knows her children are sleeping. If it was a different case, she would have done that. But I just want to ask, do you think this should be a responsibility? I'm going to take it because this is a sleeping part. Do you think it's the responsibility of a maid to put your child to sleep? Or it's even a time of you having this bond, mothers having a bond, fathers having a bond with their children before going to bed? Like we all know, internationally borrowed, there's a style of bedtime stories, telling stories. In fact, they did it to me growing up. Like when we're going to bed, there's always this story they tell us, and after the story, we'll go to bed, which is what the bonding we had with our father was usually our father. So I feel that, okay, that's my feeling, but I want to ask, don't you think that is what most Nigerian moms and fathers should do, putting their own children to sleep and not putting the job, the responsibility on their maid?
I need to at first commend the lady for behaving herself. I've seen people record videos and still misbehaving, irrespective. You know, your attitude, your natural attitude just comes alive, and you're not able to control yourself. So I still need to let Nigerians know that they need to take it easy on the woman. Secondly, I think 21st century homes have gotten to a level where roles are not defined by gender. Roles are no longer gender specific. Roles should be defined by your availability and your availability and abilities. Take for instance, if I were to be a chef, that's my job, and probably my wife is a banker and she leaves home very early in the morning. I'm a chef, I love to cook. I may not see, there's no reason why I should see anything bad because it's my own job. I don't see reasons why probably during the weekends myself and my wife can put them together, make things and put in the freezer. But I should not now think that's only who I am at work, and I should probably at home sit down and cross my legs and read newspapers. See, things have changed. For the woman came back also tired, and I know that's the reason why she couldn't lash out at Favor. So in my home, for instance, I like to give myself as a very good instance. I understand certain things I do very well. It's waking up the kids very, very early in the morning. I do it best. Probably how my wife was always been woken up. There was a way my dad always wake us up that no matter what, you just feel it. So I don't shout, I don't hit them. But once I enter into the room, I know what to do. That irrespective of what they're doing, all my kids will wake up. And it affects their mood all throughout the day. So if there's a day that I'm not sleeping at home, I'm always very bothered because I know that the way they will woken up, and I can't, you know, it's like that. So I know I'm good at that. I don't need to say that. She wants to beat them. No. See, family life has moved from roles being gender specific to being your abilities and your capacity, your availability and your abilities. So we have to look at that. Now, my son prefers when my wife takes her to sleep. I know women and boy, child, that kind of bond. Yeah, there's a difference. My girls like it when I tell them bedtime stories. My son doesn't care. My son would rather pick my wife's phone, play games, and while playing games, I don't need to. It's like that. So if he dozes off and my wife takes him in to sleep, fine. But my daughters, they prefer we bond. They want to tell me what happened at school, and I love it. I really love it. When my elders started crushing on someone or someone started crushing, those times were the time they were able to talk to me about all of these things, and I'm able to advise subtly.
Yeah.
So because I know that those were things they didn't do for me or do to me while I was young, I don't joke with that. So I don't have to wait and say that's my wife's role. No. And there are times when my wife is not around, that my son will now want to use my phone, even though I know that logically in every African homes, the phone of the father is a no-go area. But because I know that is what he's used to, sometimes I oblige. Or I allow him to use probably my iPad, or I allow him to. But I just understand that is how he bonds with his mom. So sometimes he just comes to ask me questions in a military way. Oh, that this is it doesn't do that, but I don't care. I understand. So attending to this issue, I think the woman should understand that the maid is also human. And if you understand that, in fact, irrespective of it, she must still always go around. It should now add to her schedule for the day that she must, irrespective, even if the kids are asleep, she must still go around. When we were growing up, in the middle of the night, our mom will she will still check on us, probably just cover us very well, probably shut the window, probably turn off the TV. They just always check. So, but because everybody is working right now, she should add that. Lastly, on this issue, the role of the man was not displayed. And I was expecting that she's going to, I missed my husband, maybe he traveled, he would have found out this, and that's why I was just sitting downstairs. So the role, it must be man and woman. We must find a way to strike this balance. Yeah. Sometimes when I come back very late in the night because of my work, the first thing I do after talking to my wife, because I know my wife always wants me to ask her how was your day, and that thing is not only a statement. So I always tell her, please give me a few minutes, let me check on the kids. Yeah. Once I check on them and find children can sleep anyhow. It's our duty to just help them. So it may not be how the lady placed those kids. They just sleep anyhow, probably because they were too playful all throughout the day. So I try to always check on them. I read till like 2:30, 3 a.m. sometimes. When I'm about to go sleep, I still check on them again. Then I go to sleep. Then she wakes up very early in the morning. She still checks on them. When it's time for them to wait, I go to wait. See, all these things is just response. We just have to understand that it's based on your abilities and your availabilities. There are no gender specific roles anymore. None.
So yes, I agree. I totally agree with you. She should actually put it into her schedule to always check up on her kids. And even if you're so tired you can't check up on your kids, I think I would advise that you actually make it a point of duty to be the one to wake up your children, to wake them up from their sleep, and I think put them to bed. It's better for the bonding, because no matter how tired you are, I think these are the only period you get to see them, because aside from that, you go to work, you probably come back late. So I think it's a good thing. And a lot of most people reaction is just, please don't kill the maid, and of course focus on your children. That's what most people are actually saying.